Howdy all Class Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. So, I guess we're going to continue hunting down some cars today. Seeing as how I am in need of brass still. Oh, I am totally holding down the wrong button. I'm like, why is my motorcycle going so slow? I'm holding down control. Control. Wrong game, buddy, wrong game. That is the Minecraft run button, not the 7 Days to Die run button. Ah, yeah. Yep, we had a fairly quiet day today. I was the only one here, which is pretty rare. And for a Monday, anyways. And just me and the dog and the cat. You know, the dog was weird today. I don't know what was up with the dog. He was very quiet all day until dinner time, and then he started barking and barked for about an hour and a half straight. I don't know. He's crazy. But yeah, all the kids, they went over to a friend's house, and so they were gone most of the day. And my brother-in-law, he had to work, and then he was off to get a license plate for his new camper, which is his new obsession. And you know, it's fine having that as your obsession. I don't have a problem with that. It's the timing that drives me crazy. So, like, we're sitting around at dinner time. He's not doing anything with that camper. And all he's done since he got home is plug it in and turn on the air conditioner. And so he's letting it cool down. And so he got a new license plate for it today because they just bought it like 2 days ago. And so he's outside, and then he's on the phone chit-chatting with his mom about it. And then he comes inside, and you know his kids are eating dinner, and their friends have come the opposite way with them when they came back. Ooh, that took his head right off. And so we got like two kids here, and then the regular two kids are here, and so then it's we get all the food because we had a big turkey dinner with their family and our family yesterday, and so today was leftovers. And so he gets out 3 plates to fix the kids, or 4 plates to fix the kids' dinner, and then tells me that dinner is leftovers, and then he just vanishes. And so he's decided he's got to go out and put the plate on the license, or the license plate on the camper at that moment. And because my sister had just gotten home, so his wife had just gotten home. So obviously someone else can handle all the responsibilities that he had, so he can run off to put a license plate on the camper. And he was out there for a long time. And then he comes back in and he's talking about how they don't have the right screws or something. And and then he's inside. But now, of course, all the kids have their dinner, and so he doesn't have to do anything of that. So he makes his own dinner, and and then as soon as the kids are done, and it's time to clean up after the kids, oh, well, he's got to run back outside with the license plate again. And so then once the kids are cleaned up, then he comes back in, and then my sister's like, well, I got work stuff to do, and so when she does her work stuff, we watch Justified, and so he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch the kids, and then you can go work on your work stuff. And 2 seconds, the kids all go outside. He's gone again, out back to the camper, try and put on the license plate some more. I don't know what the deal was. I didn't ask. Well, I got another radiator, so guess that's handy. The obsessions, man. I just like, I like stuff, but I've never gotten to the point where I just ignore everything I'm supposed to do and everyone who's trying to carry on a conversation with me and anything I agreed that I was going to do because I had to go deal with that thing immediately now and always. Uh, it's like, and the problem is there's no follow through, and so like I'm glad they got a license plate for their camper. They don't actually have a vehicle to tow it with, so it's not going to go anywhere. And so I don't know. I don't know what the big obsession is for it. I mean, now that my sister's not in on it, she also wanted the camper. They like going camping, and only they don't like. She doesn't like. She likes camping, but she doesn't like going in tents. So she wanted to get a camper, and so now they've got to get a truck to pull it with. And they got a really good deal on it, though. I was surprised. They they wanted a specific model. No, let me try that again. They wanted a specific style. There we go. And they were looking for, because they've got the kids and themselves. My sister wanted a camper where the one bedroom was behind a door, and separate from the rest of the camper. And so the one they got actually has beds at one end, beds at the other, with a door for each of them. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not my kind of thing. I'd rather not go places, I guess. I like video games and electronics. I don't like going to the middle of nowhere where there's none of that, so I can sit around and do nothing. I mean, seriously, I don't get it. I've gone, not camping, I guess, but like when my brother is really into it, and is there like a whole little town here I didn't go to? What is this? Oh, it's the lumber yard. I forgot that was out here. Look at these cars. But like they'll go and take their camper and head out to campground, and they'll stay for like a week with no television, no TV. I'm just like, what do you do? Oh, well, we sit around the campfire and we cook over the open flames, and there's a pond nearby or a lake. The kids go down and go fishing, swimming. And I'm like, yep, I don't like any of that. Like, oh no, you don't understand. It's so peaceful, and I'm like, yeah, but you're sitting here. Oh. No. Just no. And they like going and chatting with the people who are camped around them. I'm like, oh, no, none of that appeals to me. None of it. Get off me. Oh, man. Oh, it's my last one. And I totally hit escape. Still using it. Oh, there's more coming. These guys are terrible. I know. I need medical attention. Oop, I shot my bike. Ugh. Terrible. Their heads dip just as I go to shoot. You'd think I'd be used to it at this point, but no, not me. But yeah, so camping is definitely not my thing. We used to go to the cabin all the time back in the day. Not with my family, but one of my friends, he had a cabin, and we would we'd head out there, and I don't know if any of them liked camping, but what we would end up doing is the cabin was actually in town. It was a strange setup. It was definitely a cabin. But it was in like a trailer park, and like there were houses around it and trailers, and so I guess it wasn't a trailer park. I don't know what you call it, little subdivision thing. This is a lot of not frozen zombies. What do we do? Get some kind of mini horde coming through here? What's going on? And but it was like a mile from the pizza place, you know. It was not camping, and so we had electricity. We bought air conditioners, you know. It had indoor plumbing. It was not camping by any means. Had shower, you know, stove, and that does. And so that's my style of camping. So we take our TVs. Everybody basically had their own TV, and we would each take a PlayStation, and we would just sit up there with all our electronic gadgets, and we would play PlayStation games. We'd take a router so we could play multiplayer on games that would let you get away with that. And so, yeah, it was it was all right. In fact, my other friend, um, he has a cabin, and his cabin is the same basic setup, but in a different town. They call the cabin, but his is like the first one's an actual cabin that's had some bedrooms added to it and plumbing. And then my other friend, his cabin is an actual like house, and so it has all the same features and plumbing and bedrooms and kitchen and all that, and only his place is even closer to town, and so we'd be like 3 blocks from the pizza place. uh, that's my style of camping. This going out in the woods and or even to a campground where there's no plumbing and there's no. You want to take a shower, you have to go to the campground showers. No, no, it's all right. What's even weirder to me though is that my brother, when he goes camping, for the most part, uh, he goes camping really close to his house. Like, like they spent a week at the campground, and I drove over from my house for his birthday, and it only took me like 45 minutes. Uh, and I just, but he likes talking to people, and he likes. They pick busy weekends for camping, and a lot of the time their in-laws, like his wife's family, will go camping at the same time. And they'll park near each other, and I'm just like, ugh, no thanks, no thanks. The thing is, too, is it's one of those things. Like, they like camping. They invite me to go camping. I tell them I don't want to go camping. They like video games and board games, and I will invite them over for that. Nobody ever comes over. I need I need friends who like that kind of stuff, I guess. I definitely don't have any. I mean, it sounds like with the camping guys that they like that stuff, but don't really like the same kinds of games. In fact, only one of them was really into games, and he passed away last year, I think. So the other two don't really do games. Heck, I haven't even talked to the one in over a year. Uh, but yeah. So don't do the cabin thing. Heck, I haven't. I don't think I've taken time off of work for 2 years. So I definitely haven't gone on vacation. Uh, some good times though. I remember one time we spent a week straight up there at one of the cabins, and tell you what, you get a lot of gaming done when you don't have any outside distractions stopping you from because there's no internet, right? And so that's the one thing we were missing was internet. I suppose that if we were to do that now, I would just tether things with my phone because I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't get a cell phone until I needed one for my job because I don't go anywhere and I don't really carry on conversations with people. tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm super hoping that I believe the new video card I want comes out tomorrow. So, I'm super hoping to put in an order for one of those. Uh, I kind of figured I'd have to get one. I'm actually kind of surprised. I got the Valve Index as I've mentioned, and it's got several settings for quality, and I haven't played with it at all. I just let it do its thing, but I'm kind of surprised that it's actually. I have the 970 GTX video card, which is listed on their webpage as the minimum requirement, and I don't have any issues running it, and it's on the middle setting out of 5. And I was pretty surprised that it would run that high that well. So I can't wait to get the new card ordered so I can turn that guy all the way up and check it out. I'd like to see what it could really do. There's some video stuttering, but it's not constant. You basically just you have to wait for a little bit for things to load in, and then it's fine. And I only really notice it in the VR home, not in games when I'm playing them. I should actually get a chance to play some tonight. Got a message from Fret. Monday nights is my normal gaming night with him, and so got a message that he was out picking up some new equipment for his streaming setup. He's got in the process of putting together some new computer and laptop, and he's into retro gaming. So he's got like the like the old consoles and stuff and games for him. And so I think he was going to get I want to say he said a mixer board today to plug everything into. But yeah, he streams daily, and usually I join him on Monday nights. I guess I'm gonna start joining him on Thursday nights as well. I don't know when that's gonna start, but so he has asked if we could skip tonight's session because he's not gonna be home till really late, and or he's not gonna be up till really late, I guess. And because he went to get his board his morning because he's from Britain, and so he's 5 hours off. So we usually start about 7 a.m. his time, although he's going to try to... Is that right? That's not right. That's not right. We usually start about 6 a.m. his time. which is like 1 a.m. here. Although we're supposed to be changing that, I think. He wants to change his streaming schedule. Although he was trying, he was like, I think I want to start streaming at this time. What do you think about streaming at 4 in the afternoon? I'm like, well, that's kind of right in the middle of my workday. I mean, like, I guess I could split up my workday, but he's like, well, what time works for you? I'm like, 9 p.m. my time would probably be okay. That should let me get most of what I need done. He's like, yes, that's the time everybody keeps telling me about 9 p.m. Eastern. I'd love to stream, I think. I'd probably be a daily streamer myself if I lived in an area where they had internet. I mean, we have internet. We just don't have good internet. Although, I think I should probably contact him and see if there's some way to increase the bandwidth. Like, I know that their standard consumer grade internet is pretty low, but maybe they have a better setup that's like a business setup that I'd have to pay more for, but would push me over that limit you need to stream. I'm nowhere near close to the streaming limit now. Problem is I'm on ASDL, asynchronous DSL, and so what that means is my download is much faster than my upload, much faster, and so my upload isn't even a meg, and you need like 5 or more to stream. Last time I looked, you might need more than that now, but so I get about 8 to 10 meg download speed, which would be fine if the upload speed didn't mess with that. And so when you upload, then your download speed drops because there's only so much room on your cable, period. And so when you're using your cable for uploading purposes, then your downloading speed is like halved. And so I definitely need to see if they don't have something better. Although I am happy that we have any at all, to be honest, because where we live is far enough out in the middle of nowhere that the fact that there's any ISP that would have DSL is amazing, because pre-moving here, we had wireless, fixed DSL, and that's a different animal. That's about the same upload speed, but 3 meg download. And I'll tell you what, there's a big difference between sharing a 3 meg download between just 2 people, let alone the 8 people now. But yeah, it's crazy. It's the stranglehold that the cable companies have on the internet here. They state I live in actually has laws preventing a lot of competition between ISPs, and so they greatly favor the cable companies, and like AT&T. Oh no! Did you see that? I hit the edge of that and the bridge broke. But yeah, like we got this crazy law that's like you can't bring in a new ISP unless the ISP in your area doesn't offer the service that you're going to provide. Oh, that's as a municipality. So like the city can't put in internet at the same speeds that the existing city or the existing cable company can offer. Like that's ridiculous. And then on top of that, the cable companies they don't compete with each other, and so there's no uh, uh, I gotta remember which is which here. There's no Spectrum versus Comcast, right? There's only Spectrum or Comcast, and and so um, so there aren't competing companies, so they don't run multiple lines, and and so the only reason we even have the two companies that we have is because the one company was already, or the two companies were already in place because the one company offers phone service and the other place offered cable service before there was internet. And that's the only reason that we have two companies in the area. And then there is another company that was attempting to rectify all that and had actually started running fiber in the area, not in our area, but in the general area. And they the government had given out loans to companies who would run fiber to increase the internet speeds, and so that program got tampered with by the government after it was running, and so the one ISP that we have had taken out like a huge loan and and started running all this cable and stuff, but they were running like the pre-customer cable with the money they got from the government, and so because they were running the pre-customer cable, they didn't have customers, obviously, because they weren't that far yet, and and so they for whatever crazy, insane reason, the government was like, yes, we're gonna run a new sit up or a new not a sit up, a new qualification round on you that wasn't part of the original deal, and so we're gonna decide based on the new qualification round whether or not your loans are due now. And so they were like, uh, you mean the loans that aren't supposed to have any interest and aren't due for 15 years? And the government's like, oh, look at that. You don't have as high a return on the infrastructure versus profit that we expected. You were supposed to have way more customers than, and they're like, well, that wasn't part of the original deal. Well, it's part of the deal now. And so there was actually a point where they almost shut down one of our local ISPs because they decided that they weren't going to wait. Like they were, like the company didn't. The company didn't not pay their bill. They paid the bill that they originally agreed to, and then the government changed the terms of the loan. There was a lot of articles about it. So, but the government changed the deal because they felt that they weren't going to get their money back, and so they almost seized the ISP at one point, and were talking about how they were going to uh, how the company, which had paid its loan payments up to that point, um, what they didn't pay was the sudden increased loan payment, and it wasn't a small thing. It was like they're paying, like $500,000. I don't remember how much it was. I just remember that the government suddenly demanded $15 million, which the ISP didn't have because it's a local business, and we're talking rural local business. So like, there's 16,000 people in the. Oh no, there's gross stuff in my base. We're talking like 16,000 people, 30,000 people's the biggest towns that it covers, and yep, I do not have any more med packs on me. Oh wait, do I? Nope, I used it. And so it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's ridiculous that we can't have competition between the companies so that I just got one more little thing here I want to say about it. But and so what the deal is with my ISP is, like I said, my ISP was in place before because they're the local telephone company. I mean, they're a nationwide telephone company, but they're the company that offers telephone here, and so they already have the infrastructure in place to run the ISP. And then the cable company, when they came in, and it wasn't that long ago, but they came through just prior to the internet, and they came through, and there was no cable here, and everybody started getting like DirecTV or Dish TV, and so then one of the cable companies, I think it's Spectrum, came through, and well, they hit the towns, but they didn't hit the areas in between unless you were on the road they took from one town to the next. I should probably loot these guys for their meat. And so I live on like the main road, a state road, a numbered road, between the two big towns in the county, and there's a tiny little like 400 people town, kind of right angle to those two places. So instead of running down the main state road, they ran from the town to the tiny town back over to the town. And so what that means is there's a 6 mile stretch between those two towns where you don't get cable. And I happen to live there. But if I live down the side road that leads to the tiny town, I get cable. And not only that, but it's not even a 6 mile stretch. It's about a 2 mile stretch where the cable from the one town stops and the cable from the other town starts back up. So I'm just in the little window where there's no better internet. Alright, well, I am going to call it here. So click like if you like, subscribe to catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.